Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. So today we're just going to be focusing on components in ReactJS. So let's get started. So basically the whole thing about ReactJS is about components. So that's why we're just going to be learning today. And it's a pretty easy topic and also an important topic too. So we're just going to be using components a lot of time in my future videos. So yeah, so basically, I just of course created two files for this. One is classy.js and another one is functionc.js. The reason why I created it is because of the components. So basically, components are basically two types. One is functional components, that's why I created function C, basically function component, and class component, which is class and C component. So that's why I created these both for this video. So yeah, let's see an example. So first of all, we're just gonna go to the function, this function c.js, and the thing we're gonna do now is we're basically gonna create a function component. So what we want to do is we want to create a function. If you saw my JavaScript videos, you would understand because without JavaScript, React is hard. So yeah, you have to see my JavaScript videos. So we are going to create a function, and inside this function what we are going to do is we're basically going to have something like this. So this function is just going to say hello to the user or so what we want to do is we want to return, let's go ahead and return, because everything you have to return in React. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to say h1 hello, and that's what we're gonna say. And of course you have to export, because if you export you can import in any other files or so yeah, export default and the thing you want to export. So I want to export hello, so I'm just gonna export hello right there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import it right here, import, and let's go ahead and import hello. There we go. So it automatically gave us everything. So we have everything set up. We just imported this. Now we have to again return right here. And what we are gonna do is normally what we would do in HTML is just use h1 or something like that, and then we're just gonna use hello. But that's not how it works in React.js. So basically, it's kind of like our new tag, but you're not gonna use the tag word right here, but instead you're gonna use a word called component. So this is our hello component. So that's how this thing works. So we basically, let me just show you what are the components. So we have three components right here. App.js is one component, this is one component, and this is one component. So everything in React.js is components. I know it kind of feels hard to say for sometimes, but still, we'll soon get it. And you can short this too, so you can just remove that and then add this thing right here, and that's a shortened form of it. And yeah, you can do that too. And yeah, now what we are gonna do is we're just gonna delete this, and we're basically gonna create an arrow function. Let's go ahead and do that. So this is gonna be the same thing, hello equals, and then this time we're gonna use an arrow function. So if you see in the JavaScript videos, you would have or the JavaScript videos, you would have understand what are arrow functions and stuff. So yeah, I recommend you guys checking that. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that, and inside this we're just gonna return again because we have to though. And then what we can do is we can just do h1 hello, and that's gonna work. Let's go ahead and go there. So by the way, I didn't show you guys the how it works, so let me go ahead and show you guys. So there we go, hello for this thing works. And let's go see before output. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Let me go ahead and do that. And now this is gonna work too. Let me go ahead and reload this, and there we go, hello works. And some people might be wondering where's my terminal and stuff, because I said in my previous video you should not close the terminal. So what I did is I just resized this terminal all the way to the bottom so that it doesn't disturb us. So I'm just gonna do that, and it's still gonna work. But if you exit out of the terminal, it's basically gonna break this window and stuff. So yeah, and then you gotta run the commands. So that's why I close the terminal. So every time you're not gonna see that always, but sometimes you may. So yeah, that's pretty much about the function components, and you're gonna use function components a lot. So let me just show you guys the difference after I explain the class components. So now what we're gonna do in our class component.js is we're gonna import something called component. So you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna import something called component right there from, this should be from, let's go ahead and do that, from React, and there we go. And there we go. So that's how you do it. And now what we gotta do is we gotta create a class, which is pretty easy. You can just do that class, and I'm just gonna name this a different one. So let's just say hello 123. So basically it's just gonna do the same thing, but it's just gonna say hello 123. So yeah, and the reason why we are doing this is we don't want the same to be imported, because sometimes it's just gonna make it some different ones. So we just want it to be different ones, because sometimes it just messes up with the file. So yeah, now what we're gonna do is, what we can do inside this is we can render. So let's go ahead and render. And there we go. So the reason why we are rendering is to basically, this render is used to show a specific HTML element inside an HTML. So that's basically what it does, and it's also used for many purposes like hooks and states or something like that. So it's a lot important. So you're gonna learn about those in my future videos. So yeah, now what we can do is we have to use a return statement, and now we can do that. There we go. And now you don't need the ending tag, this semicolon, you don't need though, but I'm just gonna put it. So I'm just gonna not put it for now because I just want to show you guys. And now what we can do inside this is we can just use h1 hello 123. So let's go ahead and export this so that we can use in a different place. So let's go ahead and do export default hello 123. And the next thing I also want to mention before leaving this file is it's a good practice to import React. So let's go ahead and do that. Import React from React, because it's also used for many purposes too. So you don't have to, but you can. So normally this, if we do this, it's gonna give us an error, but let's just try it still. So hello 123, hello 123. Now it's there are basically two errors we're gonna get, so I'm just not gonna say that for now. So let's go ahead and do that. So it already shows all the red marks. So, so the first error is gonna be the fragment error, because we cannot return multiple things at the same time. So what we can do is we can use an empty tag right here basically, and this is basically called fragments inside React. So in React we're gonna call this fragments, and let's go ahead and do that. Now we are gonna fix this. Let's go ahead and go back a bit. Let's see right here. First of all, we're gonna delete this tag, and let's go ahead and do fragment. For some reason it was not right there, so let's go ahead and do that. And now inside this, I'm just gonna use my hello tag, and the next thing is gonna be my HTML, the hello 123 tag. And this is also gonna cause an error. So let's go ahead and go there. So there we go. It technically, yeah, it did cause an error. So it's just gonna say class constructor hello 123 cannot be invoked with the new and stuff. But what is this? So if you guys observe, we imported this component, but we are not using it anywhere. So that's our first error, which is our fragment. And the next thing is the component error. So many people I just see just doing this, and then they just think it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work. So I did it on purpose so that you guys will understand that you should not do that. So to prevent this, you always have to extend this with component. And now this is gonna work. Let's go there. Hello 123, so that works. So that's how this thing works. And this fragment is a pretty great thing, I feel, than all those errors. And this is one basic mistake all the people do, even myself. I did this a lot of times. So yeah, and that's basically for components. So as I said, we are also going to be learning about the difference. So basically the difference between these functions, or the function component and the class component, is the function, you can use it always, but it has a minimal nature. Basically you can use not too many, while the class component has a lot of rich nature. You can use many stuff inside this, you can perform many better stuff, and one of the better stuff is render. So yeah, you can do that too, and sometimes without render some code doesn't work. So yeah, and yeah, that's basically why we use more classes, but functions are simple. So yeah, and that's it for today's video. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.